November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Echo Delta X-ray, come back and give me your call again, slowly phonetically.
X-ray, come back and give me your call again, slowly phonetically.
I believe you did this, you and I connected once before. My call sign is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Roger, Echo Delta X-ray, and what's the name there?
Roger, Echo Delta X-ray, and what's the name there?
Echo Delta.
Roger, Ed, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Roger, Ed, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
The QPH here is the home of Hurricane Helene, Swannanoa, North Carolina.
Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today? Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today?
I have an ICOM 7300 with a HAL gold line microphone. I'm about, 12 inches away from the microphone. My current settings, I do have the compressor on, set at number 1 out of 10. So compression is at 1, mic gain is at 20%. Over.
Roger, Ed. Okay, are you familiar with the TBW, transmit bandwidth adjustment? We're looking for that radio, that transmitter to be in the 100 to 29 TBW transmit bandwidth, Roger? 100 to 29 TBW transmit bandwidth, Roger?
Roger. Let me see, I think I'm at 3,000.
Okay, what we want is that 2900, because that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger. Before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger. So ideally that would be 100 to 2900. So ideally that would be 100 to 2900.
Roger. Okay. I know it's in somewhere in there now. It should be the number 2 setting, which is mid. And honestly, unless I grab the book, I'm not sure. It looks like on my scope, it's somewhere around 2,000 or maybe 1,800 maybe.
Don, you have usually you have 3 choices there, and we're looking for the one that says wide 100 to 2900. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger? 2900. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger?
Okay, on the 7300, it's got narrow, mid, and wide.
Yes, sir, and we want to be on wide. Want to be on wide, Roger? We want to be on wide. Want to be on wide, Roger?
Roger that. Okay, we're back to wide, and it looks like it's a tad bit wider, but I was under maybe it's 2400, I'm sorry.
Wide should be 100 to 2900 on the 7300. Wide should be 100 to 2900 on the 7300.
Okay, we're good. We're ready. Don't you record and then put the recording on YouTube?
Yes, sir. That's our motif usually. Okay, so you're in the wide TBW 100 to 2900, Roger? You're in the wide TBW 100 to 2900, Roger? Sounds like deliberate interference to me. Sounds like deliberate interference to me.
I don't hear anybody doing it. I don't either.
How about it, Ed? You got a copy? got it, Ed. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, George.
Roger, roger. So now we're moving to the compressor, and we want a 3 on that compressor. A 3 on the compressor. Roger, roger. Compressor. A 3 on the compressor. Roger, roger.
Okay, we're at compressor number 3. I was going to give you I'm not sure how many watts I'm transmitting. It may not be very many.
Roger, and why would that be? Roger, and why would that be? I mean, we are catching some, I guess it's DX back in the background there, so, you know, it would be a good idea if you might pump it up there to whatever you can do. If you might pump it up there to whatever you can do.
Well, this should be about 650 watts. George, where are you receiving me?
You're talking to me. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
You're talking to me.
My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
7190.
I'm sorry, we might have doubled. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger. I'm sorry, we might have doubled. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
Okay, Jim.
And why don't you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 or 15 seconds so I can look around to see if I can find a better path for us, Roger? So I can look around to see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Very good. The antenna is inverted. Where the feed line connects is about 40 feet up, and each arm angles down, and I would say they are about 10 feet in the air on the inverted V.
Roger, Ed. Okay, got you on my local antenna at about 20 over. So we got a really good signal on you. So let's go to your ALC adjustment with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, stretch out the front of that word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Mic gain at 2/3. Okay. I'm looking ALC. I'm actually probably more at 70 or banging 80% on the ALC.
Okay, ALC meter is the short meter running alongside the above or below the other meters. It only runs halfway of the other meters, and we want to be just to the right of halfway on the ALC meter as you adjust your mic gain and by saying audio.
Okay, as you said, the ALC meter is, in fact, only half the length of the other meters. So, based on the fact that it's the little red line, which is your meter for ALC, I'm actually tapping 100%. Oh, wait a minute, it'll go up. Hold on. Mic gain. Hello, 1, 2, 3. That's about 50% mic gain right there.
Okay, Ed, I want you to be closer to mic than that. I want you to be about 6 inches off that mic. And I'm assuming that mic is a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
I'm sorry, Jim. It is a Howe Gold Line.
Yes, sir. Is that a hand mic, desk mic, or what is that?
Oh, no, the Howe Gold Line is on a boom, and right now it's about 6 inches in front of my mouth.
Yes, sir. Okay, pull your mic gain down. Be looking at your ALC and pull your mic gain down to about 40, and let's listen to you.
Okay, that's 40%, and it is driving the ALC meter. It is peaking. It's 100% of the available display on ALC.
Okay, so drop it to 35. Drop your mic gain to 35.
Roger. Okay, that's 35, and I am in fact picking up QRM from up the band. I see it on the waterfall now.
Yes, sir. Okay, now to your stand by just a minute.
Repeat.
Roger, I just had something to take care of. Go to your equalizer now. Do you know how to get to your equalizer?
It'll take me a minute. If I can tell you, it's probably bass at 100%, and treble is probably way up.
Roger, Roger. All right, so why don't you go to your multi-button on the 7300? That's the round button at the upper right side of the display window.
Roger.
That takes you to RF power out, sets you to mic gain, sets you to compression, sets the monitor, which we want to be off, and the menu button, that's the regular button at the lower left side of the display, takes you to set, which takes you to tone control, which takes you to transmit, which takes you to single sideband, and transmit EQ settings. We want that treble maxed out, that's and then the bass -1, bass -1, treble maxed out. Roger.
Roger, Jimbo, there you go. That's -1 on the bass and +5 on the treble.
Okay, on the treble, come back 1 to a +4. Come back 1 to a +4 on the treble. Roger.
Okay, that is a +4, and this is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV, and what I want you to do is leave your ALC meter out so you can look at it, and try to keep your voice in the sweet spot, which is 2/3 on your ALC meter, and leave it out for like a couple of weeks, so you can work a relationship between that and your voice, and you got to have something to do when you're talking to your good friends. So just leave that ALC meter out and concentrate on keeping that ALC meter in the sweet spot with your voice. Roger.
Roger. I'm watching as I receive your voice, and it is much more center-oriented. Right now I'm seeing very large differences in the wavelength, both up and down, on my audio scope, the green display on the right.
Roger, I'm trying to give you a very intelligible signal. There's a lot of things that can happen to our transmissions along the way, phase inversions. Mother Nature bends part of the signal back at a different time and space, and when they come back they may be out of phase relationship and into 180 degrees out of phase, and they'll start to cancel each other, and it always starts from the top end, works its way down, and when you lose all your top end, if you've got a bunch of bottom, then you become Mr. Bassman. So for that reason I don't put a lot of bass in the bottom side, just looking for the intelligibility on the top side, and put just a little bit more of the top than what you would imagine, just because of those adverse conditions that you might run into. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I've goofed around here, and I've hit the level button while I've got the audio scope up, and it has changed the display. It says level minus 20 dB.
Roger. Well, we set the ALC level. Why don't you go back and set your ALC level again? We have made some changes in the equalize situation. So anytime you make changes, when you change microphones, you should go back and recheck your ALC level. And when you re-EQ, you should go back and check your ALC level, because those things will affect the level of your ALC. So back to the ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't push it. Just say it like you would say any other word, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading 2/3.
Audio.
All right, now you might have been stressing the word a little bit. I was listening to you, so be just a little bit, don't say it any different than what you would say in a normal QSO, the word audio, except you're going to stretch the word out at the top front of the word audio to adjust your ALC.
Audio. Well, that's a 10% mic gain right there, but it's running in anywhere, say, from 25 to 30%.
Okay, mic gain is what?
At 10% on the setting.
Okay, take the mic gain on up to 30.
I've got it at 20 right now. That had been my home setting, was 20%, and it is on the ALC back to it's driving. I would say it's driving it now more like 50% or more.
Roger. So go to 30% and let me listen to you.
Okay, that's 30% right there. I'm not seeing it set off the red yet, but that should be more like 70% of the meter.
Yes, sir. I would run it just like that. That's perfect. I can see your the hang of your audio on my VU meter, and it looks like it's about 3 dB of dynamic range, which is exactly what we're looking for. And that being the case, your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Roger.
Alrighty, I see that. I was trying to see if I'm picking up any background noise. Are you, by chance, Jim, are you hearing anything in the background?
No, it's perfectly clean to me. I heard you earlier, but it's clean at this setting. And I would take maybe that bass back to flat, +1 from where it is back to flat. Roger?
I'm headed that way. If I key up, it erases. So give me just a second on the bass, okay?
Roger, Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And we're right now working with Ed over in North Carolina on the 7300.
Okay. I have that open, and I went to +1 on the bass. I'm at +4 on the treble. I'm wide mode between 200 and 2900, and I wanted to check. I also noticed transmit on the band. When you go to set this audio up, there's a SSB, and then there's SSB-D, like Delta. Is that something digital?
Yeah, we want to be just in that SSB, that single sideband, and that's where we are right now, and where you need to be for transmitting on this band. Roger?
Roger. Roger, Roger. What is the D? I guess I've never noticed that before.
It's digital, I guess. Occasionally I found myself in that USB, USB D, and I've had to negotiate my way out of that because I'm not really sure. I've never used that. Roger.
Roger. Okay. Well, I think that should be. You think this sounds pretty good? Now, I'm not raising my voice or anything.
Yeah, it sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Just remember your proximity to microphone and keep that just like you are right now, Roger.
Will do. It is set. I won't mess with it.
Roger. I mean your position to the microphone. Don't come in closer to the microphone or get further away. Stay right where you are as far as your distance to the microphone, Roger.
Affirmative. This is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, and normally, Jim, you're pushing a little over 20 over here into the Swannanoa Valley.
Roger that. Thank you, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Yes, sir. You helped me do this probably 5 years ago. I was in South Carolina at the time, but yeah, you really helped me.
Yes, sir. Well, what do you think about North Carolina versus South Carolina?
This is my home. I was born in Asheville. I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm about 10 miles east of, maybe 12 miles east of downtown Asheville, North Carolina, and unfortunately not far above the river, the Swannanoa River. We were just devastated by Hurricane Helene and lost many lives. There was a lot of landslide that occurred here on the steeper mountains, and a number of homes were destroyed either in landslides or literally just being flooded away.
Roger that. Yeah, I've heard that, and that's a real hilly area, and gosh, you're either at the top or at the bottom, and when it rains hard, boy, it's real tough down at the bottom because everything runs in pools. I, as a kid, ran across, I was kind of driving in the backwoods there, and I came to a cliff, kind of an overhang there, overlook, and I could see a valley down in front of me, and I could see it about 30 feet up around this valley. I could see a water line, so that water became 30 foot deep in that area. Roger.
Yes, sir. That occurred here. However, that depth of 25 feet, 30 feet occurred in a small area downtown Asheville. As far as I know, I shouldn't speak for some of the smaller valley communities, but here in Swannanoa, many places the river was almost a mile wide and probably 10 or 12, maybe 15 feet deep in a wide area, whereas it got slotted down through a tight valley, and it achieved 30, 35 feet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, not to change the subject or nothing, but do you do any 2-meter 440 stuff up in that area?
Yes, sir. I worked the disaster. I was one of the main points of contact, actually the only contact in Swannanoa for a number of days on utilizing the Mount Mitchell, which is at, 6,600 feet. That's the highest point on the East Coast. So I was on the 145-190 repeater.
Yes, sir. And Mount Mitchell is just a beautiful repeater. I've worked that repeater from here, which is about 400 some odd miles away. I've worked that repeater about 8 times, Roger. I talked to the gentleman that actually put that repeater on the air before he passed, Roger.
Yes, sir. I've got a photo. The new owner of that repeater, I think, is K4NY or N4. I've got his, N4GE, I believe.
Yes, sir. Well, this would have been the gentleman that passed the repeater onto him, the original man that put that on the air. I forget what his name was now, but I called him, when I talked to him, I called him the Elvis of repeaters, because it was just first class all the way, Roger. 6,600 feet. You're gonna cover some distance, and I think his was about 6 states wide, Roger.
Yeah, depending on conditions. This is N4EDX with Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. I'm at 2,300 feet above sea level. However, I'm in the valley, and if you continue up my road, it will elevate all the way to the top. Here, it's called Bee Tree, like a bumblebee. Bee Tree Road, and there's a water reservoir for Asheville up there, and I believe it's at about 46 or 4,800 feet above sea level. So imagine a coffee cup, and I'm transmitting from the bottom of the coffee cup.
Yeah, roger that. Roger that, Ed. Why don't you pull your mic gain back just a little bit, maybe 2 clicks back from where it is. Just 2 clicks back, not much, just 2 clicks back from where it is.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of leaning into it. The other thing, when we rag chew on 3915, 75 meters, when we're rag chewing, the guys do not like the compressor on.
Roger, I don't think anybody would be able to hear a 3 on a 7300. It's so light. I don't think that's why we chose it, because it's almost imperceptible to hear a 3 setting on the 7300 compression.
Roger. Well, the setting compression of number 1 has not roused any suspicion.
Roger. I don't think you'll be able to hear a 3. Now, if you get to the thing is, see, a 6 and a 3 are the same, except the 6 has suck up between words. And as far as actually working on the word, a 3 will do just as much work on the word as a 6, but the 3 does not have suck up between the words, Roger.
Roger. Now I've backed off of my microphone. I'm now about 18 inches away, which happens when I lean back in my chair. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, then you get into a noise coming in your room. You have a noisy room, and if you work your audio back that far, you're going to have room echo. Roger, that's why I wanted you to be just where you were.
Copy that. Jim, what you're hearing is the cooling fan on a 50-year-old Dentron MLA 2500.
No, I'm hearing room noise. I'm hearing you don't have much furniture in that room, and you do have a lot of ambient echo in that room, and so you need to work back where I told you to work. Roger?
Copy that. Do you recommend sound deadening panels on the wall?
No, just closer mic, signal to noise ratio. And the closer you get to the mic, the less noise you're going to pick off your walls. But you should, when you get to a certain point, you should be running a foam filter on your microphone to keep your wind out of your voice pops and stuff. So I'd just go ahead and get me a foam windscreen, Roger.
Affirmative. I've never operated this microphone without the foam ball. Now, here, that is without, that's without the foam ball on the end. That's just an open, the stainless steel.
Roger, I don't hear much noise there, but it's still a good idea to run that foam windscreen. Then you can work that microphone, pretty much however you want, and you're not going to pick up anything other than your voice. It's going to filter out all the pops and crinkles and, stuff that you don't want to transmit.
Roger, the amplifier fan is quite noisy on this old Dentron. As a matter of fact, this is currently transmission without the fan. I'm going to reach over, which the fan just turned off. But I'm going to reach over right now and turn the fan on manually. And I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'd love to know. And now the fan is running in the background.
Roger, I would not have noticed it very much had you not said something about it. It's way down. It's probably about 15 dB below your voice level, so it's nothing that would be involved in your audio much, to speak of. But it depends on your position to the mic, signal to noise ratio, your voice signal versus all the detrimental things that are happening, the blower and the reflection off the walls and all that stuff is just really minimized where you were working it just earlier.
Okay, well, do you have others that would, do you have other folks waiting here on the frequency to get a chance to hear themselves on the radio?
Oh, well, we give it a chance. I don't know. I never know what's going to happen from moment to moment, but I think we got you there, Ed, and if you get a chance, go ahead and do a search for KC9VKV logbook, and we'll have it available on the YouTube search by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Affirmative. Thank you, Jim. Jim, what's your location? Because if I remember last time, I ended up watching, don't you televise, wasn't it you used to televise or on the YouTube, didn't you set up, you'd have some longer running videos?
Yes, we have a whole bunch of different stuff. We have the logbook, KC9VKV logbook, and then we have a couple of others, and then we have a bunch of broadcast stuff that we did. So, we have a lot of stuff going on our homepage of Jim's Radio Story. So you might look that up too. I will give you a broader view of our homepage. Roger?
Yes, sir. I think I'm pretty sure you and I went through this process, and the microphone, the Heil Gold Line, is a desk mic. And it's funny, I was so used to operating with a boom and a foot pedal that I think at the time when I purchased my radio, they gave me a coupon, and I bought the ICOM desk mic, and since I had never used it, I just took it to a ham fest and sold it for a fair price. But the original purchase of this Gold Line was to operate the older, much older, Kenwood TS-940, which I operated for about 25 years.
Roger that. Roger that. All right, Ed, I think we got you there, sir. You know, have a good afternoon and a great weekend, Roger.
Okay, I'm going to let you go, Jim, because I bet there's others. I want to ask you, when you sign out, actually, I could be looking you up on QRZ. I wasn't sure I would that call if you are West Coast, but I'm assuming, and I'm doing a quick search. I thank you again. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Obviously wish you a very happy New Year and want to thank you for the time you spent. And cordially, November 4 Echo Delta X-Ray, Ed in Swannanoa, North Carolina.
Roger, Ed. Yeah, we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
I see that. Are you inside the 265 Beltway?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I can see downtown Louisville from where I am. It's about 3 miles away.
All right, quick story, and I'll be done. My best friend in the Navy we went in 1980, and he was sent to the Navy by the Jeffersonville police. Apparently he ran, it wasn't his first time, and apparently ran, and of course he was driving his car and crossed the bridge out of Louisville into Jeffersonville, and he was, 18, and I guess the judge had enough and said, you're going to get punished or you can go to the Navy, and he chose the Navy.
Probably a wise choice.
Okay, Jim. Happy New Year. Thanks again. You made my day, and I'll jump online. I did bring you up on QRZ, and it's good to talk to you again, my friend. I don't know why the 9 called through me, but your voice is so familiar, and obviously it sounds good. And you're still 20 plus. You're hair over 20 over 9 here. 7 3s from November 4, Echo Delta X-Ray, Swannanoa.
Roger, Ed, 73, sir. Good to talk at you. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the KC9VKV Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And I don't know if my Elmer's still in there or not. He was earlier. Elmer, are you there?